Haywood to go live with Forex. He is going to be talking about the launch of Piggy Bank, which comes up tomorrow. So we're going to join him live. Let's go.
Pays out 3% of its balance daily to stakers there. Because it's a percentage, that allows the balance to accumulate as more people use the protocol. And the capital that's generated on the back end will be primarily used to increase the cash flows that are going into the pig pen. So this is going to be something that we heavily focus that capital on. We also have a tax protocol in the dog token that creates additional cash flows, BUSD cash flows for the pig pen. We currently have that tax protocol set very low, and we did this on purpose to help the dog token cement a bottom, right? And to start to, positively trend. Now that we're doing that, we're going to be adjusting the tax protocol slightly, not today, but relatively soon. And this will create additional cash flows going into the pig pen as well. So when I say that we have an adjustable tax protocol in dogs, this is extremely limited, right? We can have a tax that is from 0 to 9%. We keep it limited by design, so people have the security to know that we can't just increase the tax to 100% like other scammers have done in the past to exploit the system. So we put a limit on it. That way everybody can rest assured that the tax can never be over 9%. But as of right now, we've have that tax at the bare minimum, and this allows for dogs to be more free-flowing, but it also lessens the cash flows that are going to the pig pen. And we have the ability to adjust this within certain limitations as needed. So in times where we need the dog token to be more free-flowing, we can reduce this tax. And in times where we need more cash flows going to the pig pen, we can increase it. When I say decrease it, increase it, I mean slightly, a matter of a couple percentages. But when you have large volumes of trading, a couple percentages don't affect any individual, but they make a difference in the grand scheme of things when you have, millions of dollars worth of volume and thousands of transactions constantly going on. So that is something that everybody can look forward to. It's something that I look forward to. And I look forward to putting this capital that we're generating on the back end to work. So as I just said, the first thing we're going to focus that capital on and put it to work is through pig pen injections. Really start increasing those daily BUSD payouts in the pig pen. Now, everybody should also keep in mind that when we open up the piggy bank and that goes live, some portion of those in the pig pen will decide to take their BUSD out of the pig pen, decide to take their pigs out of the pig pen and put it in the piggy bank. What this means is the people that are in the pig pen will now get a greater share of the BUSDs that are being distributed out. So the pig pen is really going to help support, the piggy bank is really going to help support the pig pen and really take some of the pressure off of it and allow for additional cash flows to really make a major impact on the animal farm as a whole. Now, some people have asked about the fee, right, on the piggy bank. There's a fee on the piggy bank, and the reason why it's necessary to put a fee on the piggy bank. When I say a fee, I mean a deposit withdrawal fee, is to ensure that it's never beneficial to self-refer. So we set the fee on depositing and withdrawing to be twice what you can earn at the highest rate as a from a referral bonus. This means that if you're a legitimate participant in the system and you're making legitimate referrals to other players, you're benefiting from them because you're getting capital that you otherwise would not have gotten, and you're not paying the tax that is associated with deposit and withdrawal, because the person you referred pays that to get in. But if you were to create a structure where you're doing a bunch of your own wallets and self-referring, you'll end up paying more in the deposit withdrawal fees than you would make through the self-referral commissions. So it's very important to create a structure like that so we don't have people leeching from the system through self-referring. But all of the pigs which are being accumulated from this fee are not going to the developers, right? Instead, we're putting them in a contract that acts as a lottery, and this is why it says lottery coming soon on the Animal Farm front end. And this lottery will be similar to the lottery on PancakeSwap, for example, where participants can buy tickets. And in this case, you'll be able to buy tickets with dogs and drip. The dogs and drip that are used to buy these tickets get sent to a burn address. And once a day, one of these tickets is chosen utilizing Chainlink to ensure that it's fair and truly random. And the person who wins this lottery will win a share of the pigs that are being generated from the fee associated with Piggy Bank. So I always like to have a single function serve as many positive outcomes as possible. And in this case, we needed a function that ensures that it's not profitable to do self-referring and people cannot leech the system through self-referring. So we needed some kind of deposit withdrawal fee. But we also wanted to create additional incentive for people to be able to utilize their drip tokens and their dog tokens. We want to remove those dog and drip tokens from circulation. And we also want to have another mechanic that's locking up and utilizing the pig token. So we're killing multiple birds with one stone here and utilizing the fee with deposit and withdrawal from the piggy bank to support this lottery. And it also drives a ton of attention to the animal farm because it's an event that's happening every day that people can participate, get excited about, promote every day. So that's another major advantage to having a type of lottery system like this. It's something for people to get excited about every day. And this lottery is not paying out pigs through inflation. So you also don't have to worry about pigs being added to the circulation, that could be sold on the market through this lottery, because 100% of the pigs that are being paid out from this lottery are coming from pigs that were already in circulation, but have been removed from circulation due to the mechanics of the piggy bank and the lottery. So both the piggy bank and the lottery can only remove pigs from circulation. They cannot add additional pigs to circulation. So they can only have a positive impact on price. So this is something that I'm very excited about. Now we worked, triple overtime. We even brought on an additional developer to ensure that we could get the piggy bank out quickly, safely, securely, and in time. So our full focus has been on that. The lottery is going to be something that we build over the next couple weeks. But as soon as the piggy bank goes live, we're going to start accumulating pigs that will be ready to go when the lottery is ready to go. So that's something that's extremely bullish. The fee that's associated with the piggy bank, since it's applied to every user, it becomes a it becomes negligible, because if everyone in the system pays the same exact fee, it's the same as no one paying the fee in the system. But it still serves the purpose of making it so if you try to do self-referring, then you will end up paying more additional fees, and this will ensure that no one can leech from the system through self-referring. So it's a positive from every perspective you could look at it from, right? When everybody who is a legitimate user is paying the same fee, it becomes negligible, basically the same as no one paying the fee. But if someone tries to exploit the system through setting up multiple wallets and start trying to refer themselves, that's when the fee starts to accumulate, because now they're paying additional fees, and it offsets the bonus that they would get through self-referring. So that's something that I saw come up in the chat. I saw some people asking questions about it. So I wanted to go over that to make it very clear. And I also had someone ask if I was worried that the piggy bank paying out 3% daily ROI would have a negative price impact on pigs. And the answer to that is, of course, no, because it's not paying up that 3% through inflation. If it was increasing the supply of pigs by 3% to pay out this ROI every day, then yes, it would have a negative impact on the price of pigs. But since it's not being done through inflation, since the pigs that are being paid out are pigs that were removed from the circulating supply, this ensures that any pigs that are being paid out are pigs that otherwise would have been in the circulating supply to sell. And the people that are being paid out these pigs are being paid the reward for removing those pig tokens from circulation and time locking them out of the circulation. So it's designed to specifically have a positive impact on price, and can literally only have a positive impact on price because it only has the ability to remove tokens from circulation and then pay out these pigs to people that have removed pigs from circulation longer than others. So that's another thing that I wanted to clear up, right? Because it's extremely, extremely positive for the price of pigs and the animal farm as a whole, right? And of course, dogs as well, because in order to unlock the referral bonuses, in order to earn and accumulate your share of pigs, the best way to do that is to be staking and farming those pigs with your dogs. So that's something that people need to take in and understand to have a full comprehension of how the protocol works as a whole. Now, I had something else in mind that I wanted to get to specifically regarding that. But let me share my screen now, and I'm sure I'll remember what was just coming to me. Okay, so. Okay.
Lots of buys on pigs right now, guys. You can see here. It just tends to, pigs tend to pump when he joins an AMA. You could play that whole game all day if you're a trader. You buy pigs going into the AMA, and then I would be selling them near the end of the AMA. I mean, usually there's a sell-off, but most of us are not trading. We're literally just staking our pigs.
All right, I'm just being careful.
In the pig pen. So, yeah, this is all about the launch of the Piggy Bank tomorrow, in case you're new here.
All right. So,
and this is the founder, Forex, speaking.
Some people have asked why we've seen a dip in the price of pigs, right? Now, in order to understand how decentralized exchanges work and how price is determined is by or the way that price is determined in decentralized exchanges is by taking into account the amount of asset you're trying to price versus some base asset. In our case, it's pigs and BUSD, right? So pigs gets its price by the amount of BUSD that are backing it in the liquidity pool. Now, if you have twice the liquidity, so for example, if right now the pig token was $100 and the liquidity was, say, 25,000 in the liquidity pool, all right? This has the same value as if the pig price was half this value, right? So let's say the pig price was $100 and there's $25,000 in the liquidity pool, right? Now, if the price of pigs was to go to $50, but the amount of capital, the value was to go from 25,000 to 50,000, no value was lost to pig holders. Was half. This is because when the price is at 100, but there's half the liquidity, when you go to sell, you're going to have price impact on your sale, and it will result in you getting the same amount of BUSD that you would have gotten if the price was half, but the liquidity pool was doubled. So people need to understand the difference between price and value, right? Value is what matters. The amount of BUSD you would get for your pigs, right? And the price is taking into account the amount of BUSD that is backing the pigs at a 1-to-1 rate. The liquidity is taking in the depth of pigs to BUSD. And they both need to be accounted for when trying to determine the value. So what we've seen in the past, 24 hours or 48 hours is that some people have taken a portion of their pigs and have sold them for BUSD in order to add those pigs and BUSD to the liquidity pool. This is why the price has reduced by, say, 20%, but the liquidity has increased by 25-30%. This means that more value has been given to the pig tokens. Even though the price has reduced slightly, the depth of the liquidity has increased more. So this means the holders of the pig token have more value now, even at this price, than they did 3 days ago when the price was slightly higher. This is because there is more capital backing the pig token. So this is extremely important to keep in mind. Now, do I think the people that have sold a portion of their pigs to create liquidity have made the right decision? In my opinion, it is not the correct decision.
Whoa.
The reason why I say this is because the drip token, when we launched the drip garden, in the couple of days leading up to the drip garden, we saw a correction in the price of drip. This was because some people were selling a portion of their drip to get BUSD that they could then pair with the drip and put into the drip garden. Now, when the drip garden went live, we saw the price of drip more than 2x. It went from like $70 to $200. The people who sold a portion of their drip in order to create BUSD and pair it lost value compared to the people that held all of their drip and sold some other asset to create the BUSD and pair with the drip. So, yes, if literally the only thing you hold is pigs and you want to get into the piggy bank and you don't want to add any more additional capital into crypto or whatever your situation is, then I could have some sympathy with that, right? Because people got to do what they have to do. But if you have some other asset that you could use to create the BUSD in order to pair with your pigs, most likely, if this goes anything like what Drip Garden did, which of course is highly probable that it will, you're going to see the most benefit. Because not only are you going to experience the ROI from the piggy bank, you're also going to feel the full weight of the price appreciation in the pigs token because you didn't sell a portion of them to create the BUSD. So those are two major things to keep in mind, right? The difference between price and value, knowing that value is what is important. Price is just one variable that goes into how much capital your tokens are actually worth. And in order to distinguish price from value, you also have to account for the size of the liquidity pool. And if the liquidity pool is increasing at a greater rate than the price is reducing, then the holders are actually seeing more profit from holding, more value. So I see some people asking about that. I wanted to clear that up. And I hope everybody understands that, because if you do understand that, it's going to go a long way for you in the future, not just in my projects, but also, when you're deciding how you want to act in any kind of DeFi space. Extremely important to understand the difference between price and value. Okay, so now let me try to screen share. All right. Actually, Bartow, could you screen share? Do you have the ability to do that right now?
Yeah, let me set up.
Okay.
Let me go to farm.
I will
I've never done it before.
if they're successful, I'll show you guys the screen as well. Don't worry. You don't have to leave. I'll be here. I got you guys.
1,000 people watching. I don't want to
Right.
leak
I
stuff.
got it.
Guys, thanks for being here. This is awesome.
Okay.
200
And
people.
then if you could
Like
go
the video.
to,
Let's get
Piggy
this
Bank.
let's get this out in the community.
Everybody can see?
We should make the full screen. So can you just scroll up to the top, and I want to read the info at the top first.
Cool.
Okay, so it says the piggy bank is the first ever non-inflationary variable time staking annuity. What this means is the piggy bank pays you a set rate for agreeing to time lock your capital for a variable amount of time, and we allow you to set this variance in weekly increments. So 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, all the way up to 3 years, right? And this reward that is paid out for your time staked annuity is not coming through inflation. It's coming from other participants in the system who are also agreeing to lock up their principal for a period of time. And essentially, this is a form of lending. And when I say that, it's in the sense that those who are getting in are lending capital to those who have already been in the system, with the understanding that they will get paid out in the future for creating this value. So there is a value in capital over time. This value is expressed through an ROI. And when I say there's value in capital over time, what I mean by this is you can establish a value or a price for time locking capital. So what I mean by this is, if I was to offer you $100 today or $1,000 a year from now, you would have to determine what is more valuable to you, $100 right now or $1,000 a year from now. So
What do you guys say? What do you say?
there is a value transfer that takes place when time locking capital. And in this case, that value transfer is happening when a new person enters the system and they're lending that value to people that are current participants in the system, with the agreement that they will be rewarded for time locking this capital in the form of an ROI. So the mechanics of this are very similar to lending, right? Now, in the case of something like a certificate of deposit or a protocol in DeFi, such as a hex, right? This capital that's being paid out as a reward for those agreeing to lend their capital to those who are existing participants in the system comes through inflation. So with a certificate of deposit, for example, when you lock that capital up in a bank, the bank then uses it as collateral to then have the not the federal government, but the Fed, through inflation, mint more capital that then goes to the bank, that the bank then lends out that capital and pays out a percentage of the interest paid on this capital to people that have locked up their capital in the CD. That's the way traditional certificate of deposit in a centralized system works. We're taking those same mechanics, but instead of relying on two centralized entities, both the bank and the Fed, to mint tokens, or in their case, US dollars, to pay for people for time locking their capital, we're paying this capital out directly from the stakes of those who have time locked their capital. So we're not relying on a centralized institution to inflate the supply of the underlying assets to then lend out to create interest. We're allowing each participant to individually lend out the collateral themselves to existing participants of the system that got in before them. So it's a way that we are allowing participants to express the value of time locking capital and benefit from that by lending this value to other participants in the system. So that's an overview of how value is created in this system. So it's not just a protocol that is taking it in capital and then redistributing that capital to, indiscriminately to other participants in the system, right? It's allowing participants to time lock their capital, and then the value which is associated with time locking capital is then lent to existing participants in the system. And then those existing participants in the system can decide to either cash out that value or compound it, which is essentially lending it back out to earn a higher yield off of it. So there's a lot of people have a misunderstanding of a protocol like this and think that it's essentially a shell game where capital is just being distributed and no value is created. When that's the furthest thing from the truth. We're creating value the same way a traditional market creates value in a certificate of deposit or in an annuity, but we're doing it in a way that does not rely on inflation and does not rely on centralized institutions. And if you don't think that there is a value associated with time-locked capital, then you could basically throw away all market dynamics, because most market dynamics are based on this, on putting value on time and capital, right? So that's, the first line. I'll just go through this line by line. So it says stake Pigs BUSD LP to earn up to 3% daily ROI. So where it says Pigs BUSD LP tokens, you click that, it will send you to a platform where you can add liquidity to Pigs BUSD. So that's just a simple way to get there. Now, it says earn up to 3% daily ROI. Let me explain how this system works. When you enter the system, there are two assets that are operating within the system, right? There are internal assets that cannot be removed from the system. and it's piglets and it's truffles. Piglets represent your ability to earn an ROI in the system. If your piglets are on par or greater than the average user in the system, meaning if you are increasing your piglet holdings at a rate which is on par or greater than the average user in the system, you can maintain an ROI of around 3%. The piglets themselves are not a tradable asset, meaning you cannot take your piglets and cash them out. Piglets are solely a placeholder which represent your ability to earn an ROI in the system. Now, this ROI is paid out in truffles. Truffles are the tradable asset. Truffles get their price based on the contract balance. So, every day, piglets are created. Now, if you compound the ROI that you're earning to buy additional piglets, it now tops off your ability to earn an ROI in the system. And as long as we have a growing contract balance and your share of the piglets are increasing at a rate that is equal or greater than the average user in the system, you will earn a 3% daily ROI. If you stop compounding your truffles to buy more piglets, what's going to happen is your ability to earn an ROI will remain stagnant, while other participants that are compounding their truffles to earn piglets will be increasing. And this creates a value transfer from weak hands to strong hands. So those who are compounding their truffles regularly to continue to top out their shareholdings of piglets continue to earn a 3% daily ROI, while those who just leech from the system just keep their existing amount of piglets and cash out their truffles, since they are not increasing their piglets at a rate with the average user in the system, and since piglets represent a placeholder for the amount of ROI you can earn in the system, their ability to earn an ROI will be slowly decreasing every day. And this is why it says earn up to 3% daily ROI. Your ability to earn an ROI in the system is 100% dependent on your actions in the system. And it's just a beautiful piece of game theory because it heavily rewards those who compound, not just by increasing their share of the contract, but also by maintaining their ability to earn an ROI in the contract, right? So some people in Drip Garden have got a bit confused with this dynamic, and they want to focus on the price of plants. In Drip Garden, plants are the equivalent of Piggy Bank, are the equivalent of piglets in Piggy Bank, and seeds are the equivalent of truffles in piggy banks. So some people have that don't understand the system have focused on plants and want to put a price on plants. If you try to put a price on plants, you will be misled because plants are not a tradable asset. Plants just represent a placeholder to determine what your ROI is. And plants are constantly being created. And the reason why we are constantly creating plants is to ensure that those who compound are able to maintain the same high ROI, but those who are not compounding are slowly decreasing their ability to earn an ROI. So if you try to put a price on plants and focus on plants, you would come under the assumption that they are losing value because more plants are constantly being increasing. This isn't the proper way to look at it because plants are not tradable assets. They don't have a price. They're only representing your ability to earn ROI in the system. And those who compound always stay ahead of the increasing plant count to ensure that they're always making the highest possible ROI in the system. And those who don't are slowly losing their ability to earn ROI day after day after day. So you're only losing the ability to earn an ROI in the system, and you're only losing value in the system if you are not doing some sort of responsible compounding and just leeching from the system. So, as I said before, as long as you are compounding at least on par with the average user in the system, you are able to maintain the same high ROI, and you're earning this ROI in truffles, and truffles gets its price from the amount of capital in the contract. So in order to determine what you're profiting in the system and what you could claim at any point in profit, you need to focus on the truffle price, and in Drip Garden, the seed price, not the plant price or the piglet price, because those are not tradable assets. They don't even have a price. You can, do various calculations to try to determine a price for piglets or a price for plants, but that would only be misleading yourself because you're trying to put a price on an asset that's not tradable, and which is only representing a placeholder that determines what daily ROI you make. So I understand that it's an innovative protocol, and with that, there's a learning curve. So that's why I just want to spend the time to make it very clear for people, so people are not getting confused, right? And if you look at the Drip Garden balance has increased every month. We hit an all-time high in Drip contract balance every month, which means that the performance of the Drip Garden is increasing, and the ability to earn profit in the Drip Garden is increasing every month, month after month, for those who are compounding at least on par with the average user in the system. And the only people who would have seen a decrease in profits generated for the Drip Garden are those who have been leeching from the system at a greater rate than the average user. So it's just a beautiful piece of game theory that rewards people for being patient and rewards people for valuing the capital associated with time locking collateral. Piggy Bank takes this a step further and gives additional bonuses for having for agreeing to have patience for a specified period of time. So if you agree to time lock for 3 weeks, for example, you're given a bonus on your principal, which means you've increased the amount of interest you're earning every day, which can then be compounded, allowing you to earn an exponentially higher profit because you're experiencing exponentially larger compound interest in the system for time blocking. And we are the only protocol in the world, not just in DeFi or crypto, that allows you to earn a bonus on your compound interest for agreeing to time lock for a period of time. All of these other protocols, once you've time locked, you have no ability to compound your rewards. And your bonus is not added to your principal. They just take whatever you deposited, and then however long you time lock for, there's a bonus associated with it. Say 10% for time locking for a year, just to throw a number out there. So you lock 100 tokens for a year, you get a 10% bonus. All they do is at the end of the year, they give you 10 extra tokens. This is not attractive. It's at least not attractive to me, right? Because if I'm earning a bonus on a system that allows other participants to compound, but for time blocking, I don't have the ability to compound, then it would be a dilution of power to time block, because you would see more of a benefit from compounding your interest than you would for a bonus tacked on at the end. But our protocol adds this bonus to your principal over time for time blocking, really allowing you to experience an exponential increase in profits from the system. So, all right, now, so it says, to unlock referral bonuses, you must have dogs staked in the single asset staking. All right. If you go to pools, you'll see the dogs single asset staking pool. You earn right now 134% ROI, or APR, I should say, 134% APR paid out in pigs. So not only are you increasing and unlocking referral bonuses for having dogs staked in the single asset dogs pool, you're also earning an APR in pigs, which you can then compound into the piggy bank and into the pig pen, further increasing your ability to earn an ROI in the system, an exponentially growing ROI in the system. Okay, can you go back to piggy bank, please? Piggy bank. Okay. So with the referral bonus, the referral bonus you get is dependent on the amount of dogs you have staked in the single asset dog staking pool. If you have no dogs in the single asset dog staking pool, you get no bonus for referring. If you have 2 dogs staked in the single asset staking pool, which costs you at this price about $126, you get a 1% bonus on the deposit of someone that you refer. If you have 3 dogs staked, you get a 2% bonus. 5 dogs staked, a 3% bonus. 8 dogs staked, 4% bonus, and 13 dogs staked, you get a 5% bonus on the deposit of someone that you refer. Now, if you look at this chart that Bartown is sharing right now, this is of the BREAP price. If you look at the title here, it says the referral commission structure. The referral commission structure based on DRIP's highly successful. Wait a minute. I'm trying to read it. All right, so it says the referral commission structure based on DRIP's highly successful BREAP dependency model with a Fibonacci sequence progression. What this means is we based the dogs piggy bank referral structure on the DRIP's BREAP referral structure. With the DRIP system, in order to unlock downline referral bonuses, you need to have BREAP. So we're using that same model here. And if you look at this chart, it shows what happened to the BREAP price once we implemented this new use case and utility for the BREAP token. So in the early spring, the late spring, early summer is when we implemented this BREAP use case or utility in the DRIP system. And you see, as soon as we did, it created an exponential growth in the price of BREAP, right? So increasing, and then the growth became more. And
He's
more
basically
and more
making an argument that Dogs is about to do the same thing.
Explosion, right?
Because Dogs is the new BREAP.
The price of BREAP did like over 100x, right? And we did nothing with BREAP except for implement it into DRIP's referral structure. I expect to see a very similar result payout in the Dogs token.
There you go.
As we saw in BREAP, when Dogs is implemented.
Let's watch Dogs.
Into the Piggy Bank referral structure using the same dependency model that we used with BREAP. And we're even using the same Fibonacci sequence progression, which determines the amount of dogs you need to have staked to unlock and increase the referral bonuses you get. The reason why we use a Fibonacci sequence is because it has an exponential curve that is increasing the amount that you need to hold in order to unlock bonuses, which are also exponential. And what I mean by that is when you increase your referral bonus from 2% to 3%, this is not an increase in the bonuses you receive by 1%, because it affects all of the future referrals. So it compounds your ability to earn bonuses. And you see a compounded exponential increase in the bonuses you're able to earn. And because of this, we want the amount of dogs you need to hold in order to unlock this to also be increasing in an exponential manner. Now, the reason why we chose to go with this amount of dogs is because we want to ensure that the average user can get in at least at the ground floor. So in order to unlock the first level of referrals, what I mean by that is, in order to unlock referrals, the start 1% referral, you need to have about $126 worth or $128 worth of dog staked. The average user in the animal farm can afford that. And we know that by looking at the analytics of the animal farm. We want to ensure that the average user can benefit from referral bonuses. because this will greatly increase the amount of referrals and the amount of onboarding we see in the system. Now, as the system grows and as the users in the system generate profit, and as the performance of the whole platform increases, so does the price of dog and pigs, and so does the cost of increasing your referral bonuses. So as the benefit of being a referrer increases, so does the cost of being a referrer. And it results in this kind of exponential explosion in the price of the asset that you need to unlock referrals. And, you know, we've seen it play out perfectly in Drip and continue to play out perfectly in Drip. And I'm very excited to see how it plays out in the animal farm.
All right, let's move
regarding
on.
the dog and pig.
Let's keep it going.
All right, you want to scroll back up to the top?
No more about these referrals. Most people are not in it for referrals. But that's a nice little bonus.
Okay. Okay, it says time lock your harvest to earn a massive bonus on yield. Airdrop stakes to friends and family using the gift stake function. And most importantly, take control of your financial future on the animal farm. All right, let's go down to the gift function, please.
Gift. Ooh, baby, I love you.
Okay. Now here, this is the gift function. This is how you gift stakes to other participants in the system.
Oh.
Whether that be friends and family
or enemies
or someone that you want to encourage to use your referral link.
Oh.
And the way it works is you put in the address of the person you want to airdrop the stake to. You put in the amount or the size of the stake you want to airdrop to them. And you put in the amount of time that you want it to be time locked for. Now, it has to be over a week. You can't stake for over a week. So actually, I'm going to make an adjustment here. So it starts off at 1 week instead of 0. But if you try to do it at 0, it wouldn't work anyways. You would need to switch it over to 1 week for it to actually, for the transaction to actually go through. But you choose the amount of time that you want to lock up the stake for. And now you gift it. And when you gift it to the user, it now will show up in their stake table. Okay? So you want to go down a little bit to the stake tables? Okay. My Piggy Banks. This is the stake table. This will show you all of the stakes that you have associated with the wallet that's connected to the site. It will tell you the amount of piglets you hold, the amount of truffles you have available, meaning available to compound. It will tell you the USD value of those truffles. It will tell you the time remaining on your stake. And it will tell you the max payout on this stake. Now, the max payout is based on your principal. So, if you compound or if you deposit into a stake, it will increase your max payout. The only way that you hit max payout is if you stop compounding completely and you stop depositing completely. This will leave you with a static max payout, and eventually you will hit it. This is to prevent people from continuing to leech from the system forever without being an active participant in the system, and without contributing to some extent back into the protocol. Either that, and when I say contribute to the protocol, that this doesn't just mean in deposits or compounding. When you do a referral and you refer someone who deposits into the system, this will also increase your principal, which increases your max payout. So even if you are even if you have tapped out your capital essentially, and you do have a responsible compounding rate, but now you want to go to some sort of, you might want to slow down your compounding rate, you can still continue to increase your max payout by referring other participants that are depositing capital into the system. So it ensures that as long as you are benefiting the system as a whole and you're benefiting all the participants in the system, you will be able to continue to earn in the system. And it ensures that the people who continue to earn in the system have literally earned the capital that they're generating. Okay? Now you see the only action you can take on a time lock stake is compounding until the time stake is over. So you cannot deposit into a time lock stake. You cannot withdraw or harvest from a time lock stake. You can only compound your available truffles into a time lock stake. If you want to make a fresh deposit, you can do that. You just have to create a new stake to do that. Now, there is also an emergency end stake function, right? This is not just being displayed right now because Bartertown doesn't have a current stake in the system, so there's no option for him to emergency unstake it right now. But if this was live and he had a stake, you would see the ability to emergency end stake it. Now, you can only emergency end stake if your available truffles or if your principal that's available for you to withdraw is equal to the principal that you have locked in the system. In this case, you can emergency end stake, but if you do, you only get half of this capital. So essentially you get half of your principal back, and the stake is dead forever, which means you can no longer earn off of it. So it is a useful option for people that really do come upon an emergency, but there is no scenario where it's a benefit to emergency end stake. You're always going to be limiting your ability to profit. You're always going to make less capital for emergency end staking than if you didn't emergency end stake. And that's important, of course, because you don't want a system where it somehow becomes beneficial for people to be emergency end staking, right? So now we have a table here for referrals. This shows you analytics on the stakes that have been created by people that use your referral link. And this is a very powerful tool for people who want to create reward structures for those who use their referral links. What I mean by that is someone like a Bartertown who has a YouTube channel can say, all right, guys, once a week, everybody who uses my referral link and deposits a time-locked stake for 1 year that is higher than $2,000, I'll airdrop them $100 time-locked stake. So now people have incentive to use his referral link. He benefits by getting the referral bonus, and they get rewarded for using his referral link in a way that is not like a free airdrop where they could just dump on the market. So he's ensuring that when he gifts someone a stake, they are now in that stake as an active participant. They cannot just dump that reward they gave him. So this is similar to Drip in that sense, where people can use these tools that we provided as an extreme incentive.
Okay, I've listened over 30 minutes. We've talked about referrals.
And these tools are the reason
Getting a little, I want to jump off.
Farm
I don't know.
Drip, if you look at YouTube analytics, for example,
I just want
are outperforming
the meat.
Uniswap,
Let's launch this sucker.
MakerDAO.
Okay, some ASMR breaks. You guys know me. I like to do the ASMR. So here we go.
Uniswap is one of the
This is
biggest
where I get
DeFi
most of my
projects,
people
period.
to
And if you
unsubscribe.
look
So
at
make sure
our
you
analytics,
unsubscribe
we
before
have
leaving.
videos
Here we go.
on YouTube about Drip and about
All right, we don't need to hear about YouTube videos on Drip, Animal Farm, Forex, you rock. But, yeah, I have nothing to say. Here we go. That's disgusting. You guys are disgusting.
of the tools that we provide that allow people
I'm so dumb.
to officially onboard.
I'm losing
And
subscribers.
and we efficiently incentivize those to make content about our protocols because they're being rewarded for doing so.
Let's
So-
go.
Currently in the animal farm, we don't have this. We don't have these extremely strong tools to incentivize onboarding like we do with Drip, but the Piggy Bank has now introduced them. So now the same awesome onboarding power that we have with Drip will now be on the animal farm thanks to the Piggy Bank. So the Piggy Bank is not just providing an awesome investment tool and an awesome opportunity in itself. It's also bringing incredible new value to the dog and pig tokens through all of the different utilities that it's providing to reward onboarding, to remove tokens from circulation, to create new utility and use cases for the dog and pig and Drip token. It's not doing it through inflation, so it can literally only remove dog and pig tokens from circulation. It can only benefit the price. So it's extremely, extremely positive. And I believe, and if it goes anything like Drip Garden does, we're going to see a massive explosion in the price of dog and pigs when this thing goes live. Right now, we had a lot of the people that are learning about the Piggy Bank are people that are already dog and pig holders. But when this thing goes live and people can really start taking advantage of the referral system and the word spreads about this thing, like can only happen once it's live, we're going to have a ton of new capital that doesn't have any dog and or any pigs, which means they will have to buy dog and pigs to get involved. And that's when we see the huge explosion in the price of dog and pigs. Because we're handling both sides of the price equation. We're rewarding them for removing tokens from the supply, restricting the supply. As we're creating demand for the tokens, which, as you guys know, when you increase demand and restrict the supply, you see price appreciation. So we're hitting both sides of this pricing dynamic in a way that is designed to cause rapid and extreme price appreciation. So let's continue to go down a bit and look at the features here. Okay, so earn up to 3% daily ROI on your principal. Your principal is increased through the time locking multiplier, creating an extremely powerful opportunity for compounding growth. Some people ask, if the ability to buy piglets, meaning the amount of truffles that you need to spend to get new piglets, is constantly going down every day, is it beneficial to get in early? And the answer is yes, of course, because your ability to compound your interest is far greater than the reduction, the daily reduction in the truffle price of piglets. Meaning that if you get in early and compound, you are at a major advantage to everybody else in the system that gets in after you. If you don't compound, at least at an average rate or on par with the average user in the system, then this ever decreasing truffle price of piglets will start to decrease your daily ROI, and this decrease in ROI is allowing for the increase in ROI for people that are compounding. So if you get in early and compound, there's no more powerful position you could be in this system. But it's still fair for those who get in later due to the mechanics that we built, that we designed for the drip garden, which both increase the buying power of new capital coming in, which counts for those who compound as well, because that's essentially a purchase when you compound. And the fact that the way that we are launching this protocol ensures that there is no insider manipulation. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the way that some other protocols designed their internal DEX, when the person sets the initial price by doing the initial deposit, because you need to do an initial deposit to set the price of truffles, they end up getting 50% of all the tokens. So whoever sets the initial price, which is always the developer, they end up getting 50% of the buying power in the system, which then can be compounded, and within a week or two, they end up having 90% of all the buying power in the system, which then can be used to drain it. In our protocol, we set the price using a different method that doesn't involve us making the initial deposit. And this means there is no insider starting off with 50% of the supply. And the first person who buys in gets a fair rate, and everybody that gets in after them also gets a fair rate. And this goes a great deal to the sustainability of the project because there's no insiders able to drain the capital at a greater rate than everybody else in the system, and at a rate that no one else could possibly catch up with. So we developed many different protocols for the drip garden to ensure the fairness and the sustainability of it. And all of those protocols that we designed, which have proven to be extremely sustainable and extremely fair in the drip garden, are being utilized in the piggy bank with additional measures that are giving even more rewards to those who are compounding and to those who are patient. So it's really the compilation of everything we've learned in all of the previous projects, right? The BREAP dependency referral system from Drip, we've implemented that. The fairness protocols that we did with the Drip Garden, we're implementing that. The time locking, bonuses, we learned that from other protocols, but we were able to improve on it and implement that. So yeah, this is really the culmination of many, many years of accumulated knowledge that is built up in DeFi, executed in one amazing opportunity. Right. We have longer pays better mechanics with non-linear increase in principal, buying power for longer time staking. What this means is, in other protocols, for example, let me just say Hex, because that's one that a lot of people know about. In Hex, if you time stake for a year, you get a 20% bonus. If you time stake for 2 years, you get a 40% bonus. If you time lock for 3 years, you get a 60% bonus. What this means is there's very little incentive to time lock for longer, because you might as well time lock for a year, get that 20% bonus. At the end of that stake, time lock for another year to get that 20% bonus if you want to. Since it's not exponentially increasing your bonus as it gets longer. In our protocol, for example, let me just use those same arbitrary values that I just did with Hex, just to make it the point clear. At 1 year, you get a 20% bonus. At 2 years, you get a 70% bonus. At 3 years, you get a 180% bonus.
Oh,
see what I'm saying? So it's not linear. It's exponential.
Right.
So you truly are benefiting from staking longer.
That's crazy.
And we are allowing people to stake up to 3 years.
5, I thought. No?
Now, the reason why we chose 3 years and not infinitely is because, well, first of all, you can't have infinite, right? Infinite is not something that you could program into a contract. So you need to define it in some way. So we needed to put some limit on it, and in order to determine what the multipliers were, we needed to do an equation that is literally impossible to do in Solidity, given the limitations in Solidity. So we did this equation outside of Solidity based on the limitations that we set up, right? Up to 3 years with 1 week intervals. We did all of the equations beforehand and then stored them in Solidity. So the contract itself doesn't need to do the equation every time. And this is extremely efficient because it reduces the amount of computation the contract needs to do every time someone interacts with it. And this, we went to a great length to make the contract extremely efficient because people need to be able to compound their interest at a cheap rate. We can't have people spending, like in Hex, for example, at points it costs up to $1,000 just to withdraw your capital from the system.
Not until there's pulse chain.
So the average user can't even withdraw their capital because they end up paying more in gas than they even earned in the system.
He's talking about
They can't
Hex
even get
being
their
on the
principal
Ethereum
back.
mainnet.
And this is because there's a ton of inefficiencies in that system and in that protocol.
Snap. He is dogging on Hex.
We've gone to a great length to make our system efficient because of the fact that we allow people to compound daily, and we need to ensure that the gas prices are cheap when they do that to make it worthwhile for them to compound. And because of the way we set up our protocol, it costs cents to interact with our contracts.
Woo!
Not thousands of dollars. It costs less than $1.
Boom.
So that was extremely important to us. And because of that, we went to great lengths to do as much computations as possible off of the contract and then import the result of those calculations into the contract. We also went a great deal into ensuring there's no looping going on in the system. There's very little updating of variables, and so on. I don't want to get too into details, but we went to great length to ensure that it's an extremely efficient and cost-effective contract. And because of that, we had to put in some limitations on how long people would be able to stake for, and we decided to go with 3 years.
Right there. It's on the internet, guys.
3 years.
This just in. Bitcoin is now a Ponzi
when we looked
scheme.
at the average stakes
Oh my gosh, I had no
other
idea.
protocols.
This just in. Bitcoin is a
3
Ponzi
years
scheme.
seemed
Tell
to be
everybody.
a sweet spot there. And the reason why I say that is because the average stake in Hex, for example, is 5 years. But then,
Guys, we don't even know who the founder of Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is a scam. Who is Forex Shark? We don't know. Everything is a scam.
Done by
Leave the chat now. You better leave the chat now. Close this video. Unsubscribe. Everything is a scam.
Let me just mute this person so I'm not getting feedback.
Put your money in your bank, guys. Put it in the bank. Make 1% per year. That is the only alternative.
Of all dividends created are going to the developer.
Cheers.
There was also a ton of manipulation that went on in the project to ensure that he would end up with 85% of the supply and providing 90+% of the liquidity. And because of this, the amount of APY that's generated for the average user is very small because the vast majority of it is going to the developer. And the system is inherently insecure because it's completely dependent on one entity that could make a mistake, that could get hacked, that could be arrested, that could get hit by a car, etc., right? So I don't want to make this me versus another project, but I'm just talking. I want to put our features in context with existing projects so you understand how important they are and how powerful it is relative to your other options in DeFi. So in our system, 100% of the rewards go to the participants in the system. And when there is a emergency end stake, the penalty that's put on that emergency end stake, 100% of it goes to the participants of the system. So it's truly a fair protocol that is more secure and decentralized than any other protocol.
I bet Forex Shark isn't even his real name.
Or any kind of
I love it.
Mechanism. Now, we also
This just in. Forex Shark isn't even his real name. Guys, tweet that. Drop that in the Drip community chat. Animal Farm. This is alpha right here. Forex Shark. That's not even his name, guys.
You can't compound your interest and they tack it on the end through inflation on all these other systems is because there are limitations in solidity that we spent.
Inflation is made by the Illuminati.
Ton of manpower.
Beyonce is part of the Illuminati.
My partners and myself. And I want to give great credit to my partners. They are
9/11 was an inside job. There you go.
And we were able to innovate and solve problems that no other DeFi project has solved to date. And that's why our protocol allows you to compound your interest and allows your bonus to be applied to your principal instead of tacking on the end through inflation. That is only made available by the innovations and by the problems that we solved while developing this project. And people know that.
No, Duck Network actually is a scam.
Know that as we were trying to solve these problems, we were putting bounties on them.
Let's look at Duck Network.
For example, we would say, hey, if you could solve this, if you could make this function work in Solidity, we'll pay you $1,000. You know, we made these kinds of.
All right, watch this, guys.
Just to.
I've got 64. Duck. I'm going to claim them. Oh, that's wonderful.
In the end, we ended up solving them.
It works great. But then I'm going to sell my Duck.
It's extremely powerful because
Max.
We're setting a new standard for DeFi and for time locking protocol.
This is just showing you like most projects on DeFi are crap.
A protocol that pays out the reward
there you
through
go.
inflation and just tacks on a little bonus.
All right, so I'm going to sell my Duck. Here we go.
Not when you have a protocol as powerful as we developed as competition.
This transaction's expected to fail.
You know, I expect there to be a mass exodus in these other protocols.
You can't sell.
Into ours. Because we are truly just offering a better product.
Yeah, what he's saying right now. People are going to leave this crap and they're going to run to Forex projects. That's what I'm banking on. Not financial advice. I know nothing.
To family, friends, and
we need the price of drip to come on back up. Okay?
You want,
that's only going to happen through momentum of partnership announcements.
To get people to
it's going to happen once Piggy Bank is launched. We've got to get all these launches out of the way.
Free promotion as people show their referral link.
All right, ask me some questions. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Let's go, baby. I'll even, some of you guys want my referral link.
Now,
I'm going to give it to you. Just click on that sucker. Copy referral link. Boom.
The ability to have multiple
Thank you, guys. You're the best. Boom. Done.
This allows you to set up convenient lockup strategies and diversify your risk through setting up multiple end stakes at various times. That way, you don't have to rely on having one large stake that ends at one specific time. You can vary it. You can decentralize. You can diversify it and really create a strategy that works for you and is convenient for you. It also adds an element of fun because it allows people to put in capital and say, hey, I want to go on vacation in 6 months. So I'm going to put a stake for 6 months, and that's what I'll use for my vacation. And I want to do this and this time and this time. And it really allows you to structure around your own strategy and build your own systems. And this adds an element of game theory that really makes the whole system more sticky and more fun for people to interact with. Also, it allows people to build a lot of really cool analytical tools. For example, and I'm sure because we have the most intelligent and the most skilled community in all of DeFi.
I love trolls.
We're going to have people creating all kinds of tools that will allow you to analyze the different stakes when they're ending and allow you to set your stakes around times where other people are not ending their stakes. That way, you know that you're not getting out in a time where a lot of other people will be ending their stakes, right? So this will help you from a trading speculative standpoint, right? It's more trading tools. And one of the reasons why this is so much more powerful than other protocols is, when someone ends stakes, yes, these tokens will be released into circulation, but not through inflation. It's not additional tokens being created, so you don't have to worry about additional sell pressure being put on the market, right? It's tokens that otherwise would be in circulation, but were removed from circulation for a period of time.
You're a scam.
And this incentive to remove tokens from circulation
I live with my mom.
That there will always be more tokens being removed from circulation than what is being added to circulation because there's no inflationary mechanism to the system. Okay. Let's go down.
Come
a bit more
on.
here.
Here we go. Let's get back to it.
Okay.
Focus.
Jonathan, focus. Sorry, guys, I'm
The
immature.
multiplier.
I'm going to get comments. They'll be like, you need
The
to be more
multiplier
professional.
for time
Don't
locking
tell me how to
rewards
run
is
my YouTube
placed
channel. Go start your own, you
on the
douche.
staker's principal, not tacked on at the end of claimable divs, right? I've already explained this. All the other protocols, when you time lock, it looks at what your starting principal is, puts a bonus on that, which is a percentage of that principal, and just pays you this out at the end. This is a very underwhelming way of doing it. Our protocol takes this bonus on your principal, puts it to the side, and then slowly applies it to your principal, allowing you to compound it into your principal and earn compound interest on it, which is so much more powerful. Now, the way that is made available to your principal is using a exponential distribution curve that is the inverse
He said Donald
of
Trump.
the theta
Go,
time
go.
decay curve that is used in options markets to determine the value, the price, that the to determine the
You guys fall for
value
it.
of time locking capital.
Someone is literally like,
So,
better than Biden. Stop falling for
Options
it.
markets, it's doing the opposite, where it's degrading the value of your holdings as you get closer to the expiration date.
Here we go.
This is
Trump. Just keep talking about Trump.
Guys, this is great.
the inverse.
Welcome to our DeFi channel
Taking into account
featuring
the time
chat
value
on
of
Donald
capital.
Trump.
For options markets, it's saying if you. Let me shut the window.
This just in. Forex has a dog. He is not a
For
robot.
options markets,
His
it's
dog is a
saying,
scam.
If you essentially give us this money now, we will value it more than if you give us the money later. So it decays the value of this capital over time. We're doing the inverse of this, where we're essentially saying, if you lend us this capital now, we'll give you a greater bonus. We'll put additional value for time locking this capital now than you would get for not time locking. So we're taking the value associated with locked capital over time, or we're taking the value placed on capital over time, and we're paying it out as a bonus. And this bonus is applied to your principal over the life of your stake using a distribution curve that is the inverse of a theta decay in options markets. The reason why we did this is because we know this kind of distribution curve works very well in markets, right? There's a reason why they use this kind of curve in options markets, because it works very well, and it's very much in line with the value that is placed on capital over time. So in this protocol, your bonus is placed on your principal at a rate that makes it so 30% of the bonus is applied to your principal in the first 75% of your stake. And in the last 25% of your stake, that's when the other 70% of the bonus is applied to your principal. Now, when I say applied to your principal, what I mean is, say you get a 10% bonus for time locking 100 tokens. When you time lock those tokens, it takes those 100 tokens and it buys an extra 10% more tokens for you. It gives an extra 10% more buying power on the capital that you just deposited. And it takes those truffles, those 10% extra truffles, puts them to the side, and adds them to your available truffles every day. It distributes them every day to your available truffles. The amount that gets added to your available truffles increases exponentially every day until the last day of your stake. And at the last day of your stake, 100% of those truffles that were put aside will have been added to your available truffles. Now, as they're being added every day to your available truffles, you can then compound them back into your principal, allowing you to earn compound interest both on the interest that you've accumulated from your principal plus the bonus that's being added to your available truffles. So it's extremely powerful, and it results in the bonus that you get being much higher than, for example, the 10% that is initially applied to your deposit. And what I mean by that is if 10% is added to your starting principal for time blocking, by the time your stake is over, since you've been able to compound and earn compound interest on that 10% over the life of your stake, it ends up resulting in, maybe 100 times more profit, or 50 times more profit, or 20 times more profit. So a 10% bonus added to your principal, or a 10% bonus added to your buying power, allowing you to earn compound interest on it over the life of your stake, results in a lot more than 10% more profit because you're earning compound interest on it. And the actual amount, the actual increase in percentage in profit that you will generate for time blocking is what will be made visual to you on the dashboard. So on the dashboard, when you decide how long you want to time stake for, there will be a variable on the dashboard that says estimated compound bonus percentage. And this estimated compound bonus percentage is based on that bonus earning compound interest as is being made available to you at a rate of up to 3% a day. So it essentially tells you how much additional capital you will make on your principal for time blocking by the end of your stake. So it's a much more accurate representation of the bonus because it's not telling you the increase in your buying power. It's telling you the amount of additional profit you will make at the end of your stake for time blocking. And the only reason why it doesn't display it right now is because we haven't wired the contracts to the front end yet. But as soon as we wire the contracts to the front end, this will be made visual on the dashboard. The same way that you can't see any emergency end stake button because you don't have a stake in the contract yet. So I know that is there's a bit of a learning curve there, and it will take a bit of explaining and a bit of people fiddling around with it until they get the full perspective on how powerful this is. But once you are able to see the additional bonus you will get for time blocking, it will be made very clear because these bonuses are huge, right? When I say huge, I mean huge.
It's gonna be huge.
I mean huge. like
Type huge in the comments. Like
an
the video.
extra
It's gonna be huge.
50x
50x
more profit
huge.
for time locking.
It's gonna be the greatest launch of our
example.
lives.
Like huge, right? Because
By the way, I'm not making fun of Forex. Some of you are like, why do you make fun of Forex? Why do
compound
you... I'm
interest
not.
is very
I love the
powerful,
guy. Why do
and
you think
you're
I've invested
earning
so much in him?
compound
You
interest
douche. Have a sense of humor. Yeah, douche. I
with
love you. Bye.
everybody else in the system.
Thank you.
So
Next.
if you have a system where everybody's earning compound interest at the same rate, then it becomes negligible. But if people are able to earn compound interest at slightly different rates, the end result of those two different stakes become drastic. So the multiplier for time locking stake needs to be large because it's in relation to the non-time lock stakes, which are also getting a large ROI and a large, amount of compound interest. But you guys will see by tomorrow, likely by the end of tonight, how large these bonuses are for time blocking.
Right, how large,
They're
guys?
extremely
How large?
attractive.
How large is it going to be?
And they're sustainable.
I like
because
sustainable.
It's all relative, right? These high bonuses are relative to the high ROI that you can earn as well for not time locking. So that has to be taken into account as well. And once people start interacting with it and playing with it, messing around, doing some shorter stakes, some longer stakes, I would suggest doing a handful of stakes.
Handful of stakes, guys.
At all different times. That way you can
New York.
learn the system. And you're going to want some
Filet
long
mignon.
stakes because you're going to benefit greatly from them. But I would suggest doing some long stakes, but also doing a couple short stakes.
I love short stakes like a filet mignon. It's so great.
You have the ability to learn the system, and you can play around with it a little bit.
I love playing with my stakes.
But those people who have been part of my systems and my projects,
I love ribeye.
For
it's
years.
My favorite.
Right. I've been working in crypto since 2012. They already have extreme confidence in my projects because
that's right. He's been around since
never
2012.
Project
He's never launched and failed.
Where the people who were early users and people who got on board and didn't get shaken out by some short-term price action or whatever did not make profit. Every single one of my projects, if you have been a long-term holder and utilized the tools made available to the system, meaning the staking contracts, compounding, all of these things, the team referral bonuses, all this stuff, you have made profit. There isn't a single project I've done where the participants who have been long-term holders have not made profit. So because of this, I know the people that have been part of our community for a long time, they're going to do long stakes. And, they're not even going to think about them. They're going to put those stakes in there, and they're going to compound and just basically forget about them other than coming into compound, regularly. But the people who have not been a part of my platforms and been a part of my projects for a long time, there's plenty of variation here in the amount of times you can stake. And I would suggest, if you want to just get to learn about it, stake for a week, stake for a month, stake for 2 weeks, but also make at least one long-term stake. You don't have to put, back the truck into it, but make one long-term stake, put whatever you're comfortable in it. That way, when the project does play out the way that it's designed to play out, you're going to see those massive benefits as an early adopter that had the confidence to get into it and be a full participant in the system from the start. Because that's the opportunity that you have right now. and it's very rare that you get an opportunity to be an early participant in a protocol like this.
like Stunna
So
Breezy.
take advantage of it, but understand that there's plenty of opportunity for you to play around with it and do shorter, longer stakes, multiple stakes. That's why we allow for multiple stakes. So,
Put a little
right,
bit
you
of
wanna go down
barbecue
a bit more?
sauce on the steaks. Stunna Breezy.
okay, this is the referral system. This is just explaining how the referral system works.
All right, this guy's
and
going. I'm
showing
banning this guy. He's
an
freaking
example
annoying.
of
Everything
how
he says is
when
just
we
negative.
integrated the same
Stupid.
exact referral
Bye-bye.
dependency structure in Drip and B-Reap, it caused the price of B-Reap to experience exponential growth in price appreciation. The same model is being applied to dogs. So I expect positive and profound results in the price performance of dogs when it's implemented into the system.
There you go.
Okay. That's the bottom up here.
Buying those
So,
doggies. I already did buy a bunch of dogs.
I want to thank you all for being here. I have
On that note,
an interview in 2 days coming up with let me just get his name. I'm terrible with people's names because I talk to so many people and have meetings all day.
It's
day.
Drip Farm.
Kale.
Oh, frick.
So he has a channel called The Kale Show, and he has 125,000 subs on YouTube.
what?
He has 82,000 followers on Twitter. He has an extremely active community and following. And I will be doing an interview with him on YouTube and to his Discord, which also has thousands of members. I'll encourage all of you to, to tune in on that.
I'm questioning
We'll
124,000
host
subscribers.
it.
Average
We'll
view
host it in
count
his Discord server
is
and in
10,000.
our Telegram group. And
19.
it'll be another major opportunity for people to ask questions.
I'm not going to say anything.
Now, I will, if Bartertown, do you see any questions? If anybody has questions, you can post them in the chat.
I got some here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't really like to just open up voice chat because we have thousands of people in here, and it's just it's too much. But if you have a question, you can type them in text chat, and I will respond to them right now.
Okay, so people just wanted clarity. So we have a 3-year max on stakes and not 5. It's 3 now, right?
It's 3, yeah.
See, I
so,
knew he said 5.
We just had to pick an arbitrary limit. You know, when I initially thought about it, I thought we could do 5 years, but 3 years, 5 years. Like I don't. Basically, the reason why I initially said 5 years is because I looked at other time locking protocols to determine what is the average stake length of users in those protocols. And I looked at Hex, for example, because that's a good one to look at. And in Hex, the average length stake is just under 5 years. It's like 4.5 years or something. But when you take into account
It's because those
those stakes that were created by the developer, and you remove those,
exactly.
it reduces the average stake length to, within 2 to 3
Yeah, you'll hear
years.
Richard Hart say, like,
So
average
that
stake
gave
time
us
is 6 years. That's because he's
perspective
looking at the
needed
average amount of
to
money.
set a limit on it.
The majority of the money
We
is
decided to limit it at 3 years.
the majority of the
We had to
money
limit
is
it
in the
some
devs
way
or the whale wallets.
because,
He doesn't admit which.
you can't have
Anyways,
infinite time locks.
it's
and
not
we
truthful
wanted to
what he's
ensure
saying.
the efficiency of the
Not
contract.
fudding. Just
And we
I like
need to
transparency,
store
guys. Sorry.
values for each staking option. So we decided to limit it at 3 years, and people can see. When I said 5 years, that was before we even got the front end up. That was before we finished the contracts or anything. It's been 3 years since the contracts have been finished and since we put up the front end. So as long as the front end has been up, it's always been 3 years.
Forex, I got a question from Nadine. Shout out to Nadine. She asked a great question, and this is important for the whole community to know, right? So she said, is there any advice on about a responsible withdrawal? She says, I plan to compound for a good while, but when I eventually want to take profits, what's the best way to do this? More frequent, small amounts or larger amounts? Or less often, for example. But I want to make sure that we let everyone know in the community, if we want to make this the most bullish token ever, taking pigs after maybe a stake is done, etc. If you're not going to put it back in the stake to accumulate more pigs for the longer term play, then you guys should definitely take those pigs and potentially move them to the pig pen, so that way you can get those BUSD rewards. What do you think, Forex, about that whole thing?
Yeah, so when I would say compounding responsibly and withdrawing responsibly, the protocol itself has very powerful mechanics that will ensure that those who withdraw and compound responsibility are rewarded for doing so, and those who are withdrawing in an irresponsible manner will be punished for doing so, because if you are withdrawing at a rate that is faster than the average user in the system, and if you are compounding at a lower rate than the average user of the system, your daily ROI will start decreasing.
There you go.
So
I like that.
What you want to do is ensure that you're compounding at least on par with the average user in the system. And you can get a gauge of whether you're doing that or not based on the ROI that you're seeing. If you notice that your daily ROI is starting to dip, that's because other participants in the system are compounding at a faster rate than you are. So you want to ensure that whatever withdrawal structure you're utilizing, because you can still withdraw some and stay on par with the average user in the system. So keep an eye on your daily ROI. If you see it start to if you see it starting to dip past the point that you're comfortable with, you need to start upping your compounding rate. There's also the max payout, right? So the max payout prevents people from leeching from the system indefinitely if they are not being an active participant in the system. When you do a referral, when you do a compound, when you do a deposit, your max payout is increased, allowing you to continue to earn from the system. When you do a withdrawal, it puts you closer to this max payout if you are not also compounding. So if you see that your max payout, you start to creep closer and closer and closer to it, then you know that you should be compounding at, or at least trying to onboard other users so you get those referral bonuses at a rate that allows your max payout to be increasing with the amount that you're withdrawing. So it's important when you develop a system that you're not basing the success of the system on the morality or the virtue of the people in the system, right? You can't say, even though there's a lot of great people in my platforms that would not skip a withdrawal every once in a while to help other users in the system and help the performance of the system. I know they would, because I know some of our people in the platform. You can't rely on that. You have to rely on the tokenomics that put pressures on people to act in a way that is beneficial to the system. And we have those pressures built into our protocol. You see anything else? If you don't have any more questions, I
My bad, bro. I was talking and I was muted. You got something to do? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I do. I have to, get us ready for tomorrow. So
I got you, bro. Last one. All right. This one is once a time lock is staked and finished and unlocked, can it be time lock again and again? But what I think we can add to that question is once somebody stakes and their stake is complete, their stake continues, right? But when they time lock again, it doesn't increase the multiplier. I mean, your max payout unless if you're compounding, right?
Yeah. So you do have the ability to do multiple time stakes, and you have the ability to earn after your time stake is over. So you have a time lock stake. The time lock stake ends. You are not penalized like other protocols. There's other protocols where you could time lock for a period of time, and then if you don't end your stake, but at your end stake, you start to get penalized. That makes no sense. You're putting pressure on people to withdraw from the system, right? Ours is the opposite. Ours continues to reward you as long as you continue to keep your capital in the system, and you can continue to do time lock stakes. You can continue to do anything you could do with any other stake once that time stake is over. So the only time a stake is killed is if you emergency end stake it. You emergency end stake or you emergency claim on your stake, and that will essentially make half of your principal available to you. And you can only do this if you already had at least over your principal available to you to withdraw. And then it kills your stake forever. As long as you're not emergency end staking, you can continue to utilize your stakes, compound them when they're time staked, and then once the time stake ends, you can continue to utilize them as essentially a brand new stake if you would like to, for the whole life of the project. And you can continue to earn on it for the whole life of the project until you hit your max payout. And of course, if you compound and deposit and onboard new users using your referral link regularly, you never have to hit that max payout. So
what is the max payout? Can you put in the comments?
Extremely rewarding for those who are going to utilize strategies that benefit all other users in the system and benefit them by not being shaken out, not falling victim to the typical ways that people lose capital in crypto, and that is through speculative trading, right? We remove as much of the speculation as possible, or the speculation necessary to earn a profit in the system, and allow you to earn a profit from your patience and your ability to help and provide other people utility in the system, both by onboarding them and by lending your capital to other participants in the system by time blocking it. So I'm extremely excited about it. I need to start wiring up the contracts, which are completed. Everything's completed. The front end's completed. The contract's completed. We just need to wire up the contracts to the front end, which is something simple, but it needs to be done. And that's it. So I'm gonna schedule.
Last one, real quick. Last one. It's a quick one. The pigs tax. Are we gonna see an increase in the pigs tax at a certain point after the Piggy Bank launches?
No, the pig tax is set. So there's no tax on buying pigs. There's only a tax on selling pigs, and it's 3%. The only variance in tax that we could do is on dogs, and it's limited, but there is some availability that allows us to make dogs more free-flowing in times where we need it to be more free-flowing, and to create additional cash flows for the pig pen when we need additional cash flows to the pig pen. But this it's limited for security reasons, right? And for decentralized trustless reasons, where we can never make the tax more than 9%, and we can never make, obviously we can't drop it below 0%, but we have those limitations in there so everybody can rest assured that the protocol is decentralized and trustless, but we have some flexibility there to allow us to ensure that the protocol is performing to its highest potential given the current market conditions. So, but the pig token, there's no reason for us to be adjusting the pig token tax, right? There's a 3% tax on selling. There's no tax on anything else, and that kind of tax structure has proven to work very well. So we're going to stick with it. All right, guys. I appreciate all of you. When this countdown hits 0 tomorrow, I'll be here tomorrow at 11 a.m. BST. I'll be here in the voice chat to kick it off with you guys. As soon as we unpause it, you can start depositing. For those who are sharing their referral link, you are getting credit for it. When someone uses your referral link to visit the Piggy Bank, it's being stored in the front end. So when it goes live, this information will be passed to the contracts, and you will get credit for it. So if someone uses your referral link, you will get that credit when everything goes live. So now's the time to be preparing for that, sharing your referral links, spreading the news about the project, because there's no better time than the present, and there's no better time to get in than on launch. So now's your opportunity, and you get very few opportunities like this in markets in general, especially in crypto. There's so many dishonest devs out there. There's so many scammy projects out there. This is a project that you can be confident in, that's being that was developed by a team that has been working in the space since 2012, that has a very solid track record, has audited contracts, and has a fair and secure structure. So when you have these kinds of opportunities, you need to take advantage of them. And I go hard on those types of opportunities because I'm someone that would rather go hard on a handful of solid opportunities than diversify across a bunch of scams and a pump and dumps or whatever the case may be. This is a project where we have a solid vision. We have very, very strong, events on the horizon. We have the lottery coming up. We have the team vault, the partnership vault coming up. We have a lot on the horizon. So you want to get in, and I would say you want to get in. You want to get in hard, and you want to have patience, and you want to continue to accumulate and compound your share of the system. So I'll be in chat and text all night and tomorrow. So if you guys have questions, throw them in there, and I'll try to get to them when I can. A lot of the admins are very knowledgeable, so they'll be able to help you as well. And I want to say congratulations, everyone, for being here, because you're in an extremely exciting time for DeFi, and you're in the right place. So thank you, guys. I'm going to take off now. Got a lot of work to do.
Okay. Well, how we doing? That was a long one. But you guys stuck around. I appreciate that. So let's chat it up. Let's see how the community's doing. Go ahead, like this video, and thank you guys for being here. I want to read your questions here. We'll just kind of digest a little bit, and see what's up. So he started this. He started this by talking about the lottery system, which isn't live yet. There's a vault system for people to create teams. A lot of emphasis today was on the referral structure and how that works. Basically, anyone that wants to max the referral, you got to own 13 pigs. So, I don't know how many people really care about the referral system. I mean, I do because it's my job. So, thank you everyone that does use my link. I'll throw it in here. Boom. So thanks for you just click it, and then, when you put your money in, I think I get like a 5% bonus on your deposit. So that's cool. But you guys could do the same. In fact, I created a whole like course on growing a team, because a lot of people were like, how did you do it, man? So this is this course right here if you're interested in that. 0 subs to 8,030 days, how I did it. And I've already got, I think, 5 or 6 people that just signed. I just released this yesterday. And so you could sign up here, and then I'm going to do live Zoom calls. That's for people interested in growing a team. That's not everybody, but that's what's up with the referrals. Because a lot of these projects, you can make, you can offset any taxes you're paying and all that through having referrals. So a lot of people will accuse these projects of being MLMs because of that, but it's not true. Like in Drip, our team, eventually everyone at the top of Drip will get maxed out in commissions. And so the people underneath that, as long as you have 2 BREEP tokens, you'll benefit. So all the money doesn't just go to the top. And but the cool thing with referrals is you don't need to refer anybody right now. Wait till you start making money, and then you're going to want to share. You're going to tell people, hey, I'm making this passive income. Then you'll share your referral link, and you'll be off to the races. That's what I was doing. So yeah, you got to have like 13 dogs. So if you're bullish on this project, you might take a look and look at the price of pigs. So it's going up. I kind of wanted to break through this line here of resistance. I mean, this isn't the best TA, but you can kind of see there's like a straight line down in the last little bit. So if it breaks that, oh, that's bullish. Probably won't break it till we get closer to the launch. So it might be later tonight, early morning. Then we've got this, the dogs, which, you know, he talked a lot about dogs today, and he's super bullish on dogs. Obviously, dogs create pigs, and pigs are the governance token for the animal farm. And we had a crazy run up in dogs recently, which has been awesome. So from 53 to 64, 65, in our Telegram group, which is link in the description, we ended up, I did an alert right here. I think it was right here. I was right there, because I finally saw a rotation. So I alerted everybody and said, I'm buying dogs. I don't tell people what to do. I'm just documenting what I'm doing. And that obviously has been a great play, you know. So I went from 54 to 64. So I still think we're bullish on dogs. You know, it'd be awesome to see them back up here in the hundreds. We'll see how much momentum Piggy Bank gets. I don't know if it has the momentum as the Animal Farm had. Obviously, the Animal Farm crushed, right? So this is the Piggy Bank. It's kind of like this add-on into Animal Farm. So it's not like this, even though it is a separate thing, it's got its own separate referral link. You can play the Piggy Bank. You don't have to be in the Animal Farm. I mean, you're still using pigs and dogs. This has momentum, but the momentum seems to be primarily for people that are already in the system. So this 366 million that came into Animal Farm, I don't think we're doubling that tomorrow. But either way, I'm super excited we have something that is going to help bring more sustainability to the price action of dogs and pigs, because when you stake pigs, you take them off the market, right, guys? And so it will create, hopefully, once the launch is done, we'll get some up and to the right, slow progress like you saw in Drip. But speaking of Drip, you guys want to look at what's Drip doing? So Drip has been falling all month. This is the price of Drip. And we still, you know, it looks like 86 could be the floor. But again, I got to see a rotation up. And then I want to see like at least have an hour of a rotation up. But it looks like we could be curling a floor. And look at that line of support right here. It seems to be like this 86. Is it going to hold? Is it going to hold? We'll find out. So I'm not buying Drip right now. I'm just kind of watching it. I wouldn't be, I don't sell Drip to buy pigs, or buy pigs, sell pigs to get dogs. Like I'm in everything. I'm in Drip. I'm in Animal Farm. You guys know I'm in drip. You guys have seen Animal Farm. I'm in all these farms. You know, because why? Because I like making passive income. And even though these APRs fluctuate, the way to see them, guys, is you just click here and then click on the calculator. So yeah, making 0.68% today. Now that at one point was 1.88%. This was better than drip, but obviously it's not better than drip now. If it's 0.68, it pays you out in pigs, but you know, so the price of pigs has been going up while price of drip has gone down. So see how these, you know, everybody has an opinion on what to do because these things change all the time. You know, if you're making an appreciating asset like pigs, but you're making a smaller APR, you're okay with that. If you're making a ton APR and you're making it in drip, but the price of drip goes down to $1, you know, that's not good. So it has to like exceed, the APR has to exceed the downward pace of the coin that you're making. So sorry, that's so confusing. So a lot of you are complaining about Drip Garden right now because it seems like every time you claim your LP tokens, if you recompound, you just kind of maintain. If you have 5,000, let's say, in the garden, you just kind of maintain it. Let me show you. So this is mine. So I had 6,400. Now, if the price of the plant value was staying around the same price, this, every time I compound, would be going up. My plant value would be going up. Now, the plant value isn't important in the sense that I can never sell my plants, so why does it matter? But the more plants you have, the more seeds it produces. So as you can see, like my reward here was I was making $215. Now I'm making 207. So if I continue to sell my LP and not recompound, every day I'll be making less and less and less. So that's the complaint. There's a lot of tokenomics about Drip Garden that I think all of the community needs an AMA specifically, probably from Forex on that, because there's so much misinformation or confusion, and I don't want to speculate. That's why I haven't made a ton of content around it, because I really want to hear from Forex. It was like today when I said you can compound for 5 years, and then Forex today goes, actually, it's only been 3 years, but I did say 5 years. But so I would just love some clarity on that. Maybe you have questions about it, but either way, like I don't. And then the other thing too is if you get a referral bonus, it kind of changes things on how many plants you're making per day. So yeah, let's look at the chat. I want to hear from you guys. What are you guys doing? So some of you said I sold dogs at 140. Wow, great price. That's awesome. What am I doing for the launch tomorrow? Well, I'm going to live stream this, so make sure you click the notification bell on the channel and we can join each other again. And obviously, I hope he launches on time. It seems like he will, because I think he's heard from the community enough razzing to say, okay, we better start on time. And that's why he delayed it 2 days too. It was supposed to launch Tuesday, now Thursday. So but for me, I plan on all of my money is in the pig pen. Not all my money, but a majority. So you can see I've got $16,000 in the pig pen. And I imagine there will be a big pump going into this launch, probably on both pigs and dogs. So while everybody is wanting to jump in real quick, I might do something a little different. I'm probably only going to share this. I need to, there's some things I'm going to keep just for our private Discord, because they're paying for extra value. But one of the things I would consider is to not be caught up in the herd mentality where what everyone else is doing, you're doing. Go by what you've seen in the past. And when you have launches, this is what happens. Because we just saw it. skyrockets up, and then there's a price that falls down eventually. Then it finds a floor. I like to get in around the floor time. That's my jam. I like getting in when there's some support. And so I don't know if I'm going to sell pigs tomorrow. I'm going to kind of watch. But if pig starts to like run, I can liquidate this by just clicking this minus and then max it out. Then I'll have pigs in my MetaMask, and then from MetaMask I can put them into BUSD if I want and wait a while. Sitting in BUSD is like sitting in cash, guys. And then I can wait for the price of pigs to fall. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Again, this is a gamble. So don't be like, oh, that's a great idea. Like, I could be completely wrong. By the way, the gamble too is because of the nature of this new protocol, the Piggy Bank, you've got people staking pigs, so they can't flip them. So once if a bunch of people come in and they just start staking, you're not going to see that big drop off in price because people aren't going to just sell their stake, even though Forex says you can sell, but it'll be with a penalty. So why would you do that? So the argument could be pigs are going to run, then there's going to be a little bit of a dump. Or it could be pigs are going to run and they're going to plateau at an all-time high. Yet we don't know. So this is all speculation. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let's go to the comments right now. So 176 are here. Thanks, guys, for clicking the like button. I've been here a couple hours, so just any support like that means the world to me. All right. We are in deflationary mode. Please explain deflationary mode. So, yeah, when this right here is kind of confusing. I would read about the dynamic emission rate on the website. I'm not going to read it all. But basically, if the price from all-time high of pigs drops below 25% from wherever that all-time high is, it moves to this deflationary mode. Now, I don't know how long it stays there. Does it stay there until you get above that 25%? I don't know. But what happens is when it moves to deflationary, then your APRs go down, okay? And by them going down, it creates more of a deflationary pressure on the assets. Does that make sense? So like I said before, this was 1.88% that each person was getting paid out. So if you lower that, you're not getting paid out as much on pigs, which means the pig's price has more sustained price action. And so when he did that, that was great. He actually talked earlier today. Watch this tonight, this BUSD vault. He mentioned throwing more money into this before launch. So I'm going to be curious to see what that does to the price of pigs as well. Yeah, TVL is awesome. It's up over 326. This was below 300 a week ago. So there's $26 million, guys. A lot of these projects, crap coins out there, they would dream to get $26 million market cap there. So 338 pigs, 64 dogs right now. When this moves from deflationary back to like pegged, you're going to see the APRs go up. And that's when you're going to start being like, oh, I'm making so much more money. All right. Hopefully that helps. Vinman, what's up? I'm going to go in Piggy Bank with one big stake for 3 months and another at 2 weeks and evaluate as it goes. But I believe Forex, when he says early, pays off. Exactly. And that's why I might throw in a couple stakes too, just to, be part of the beginning. Why not? What exact tokens are paid as the 3% per day from locked pigs? Right now it's BUSD. BUSD. My pigs are making me BUSD. Ooh, I'm late here. How do I participate tomorrow? Brian, I'm going to give you my referral link, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it. You just click that link. Join our live tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'll be here. And then we'll all just throw our money at the piggy bank tomorrow. Create some stakes. That's what you're doing. You're not chasing a moon coin tomorrow. You're literally taking money. You're pairing it. If you have pigs, great. Let's say you have $1,000 worth of pigs. You're going to need $1,000 BUSD. You're going to pair that. And you're going to pair that on the website here in liquidity. You're going to add pigs LP. You're going to go boom, shakalaka, boom, shakalaka. You're going to create an LP token, and then you're going to take that. You're going to go to the piggy bank, and you're going to click whatever, where it says coming. That'll say stake or something. Then you're going to click for how long. And you're going to be like, I want to go 155 weeks. I want to go 32 weeks. I want to go 12 weeks. Whatever you want to do. All right? And you're going to earn up to 3% daily. And if you're dropping below 3%, it's because you're hitting claim too much. You need to start recompounding, and you'll be able to track that via the piglets, which I guess will show up here in truffles. Yeah. So I just want, for me, I like to see these things before they make more sense once they're active and live. You're welcome, Tyrell. Thank you. Yeah, dogs is the new BR34P, the new Breep, right? Yeah, and that's why. So Vinman is trying to front run the movement for tomorrow, which he could be right. He observed what happened when they announced that this coin would be the coin you need in order to get referral bonuses. And so I think that was announced like right here, and look what happened. Boom. Skyrocketed. Like, I don't know how many X's that is. 100, 2, 3, like 4X. So 4X'd. Amazing. So that is what he's doing. He's like, I'm loading up the boat on dogs, baby. Yeah, because I feel like with dogs, you've got this floor that's been established. So like your risk-reward ratio, you know, it curved on the 63 line, so you could watch it, and worst thing is you sell at $63. Let me look. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. Yeah. Well, to be honest, there isn't really. Okay, it's fleshing out. I just had it too tight. But yeah, you see this like support right around here. It's around the 64, and it did the same thing right around here. It's hanging out at 63, 64. So that could be a good move. I'm sure I'll do videos on the piggy bank in a week. I do videos here every day, guys. This is the fastest growing YouTube channel on Animal Farm and Drip. So I really appreciate the support. We built Telegram group, 2,700 people, and now we've got this paid Discord group because everybody in Telegram was like, do you have a private group? And they wanted to get smaller, and we actually have 100 people that are in that group. Links are in the description for the course, for the Discord, all that crap you can check out. Bought dogs at 53 each. Best, yes. Vinman, did you do it when I gave the call? I gave an alert at 53. So if you did that, you're up. I bought like $4,000 worth of dogs. I'll tell you how much I bought. It's right here. Go to my dogs. They're just sitting here. They're sitting in the pools. Where's my dogs? Who let the dogs out? Yeah, $5,000. You guys like this mode? Here. 5,088. Boom. I get paid, I don't know, about $20. Well, whatever the APR is. Figure it out. 0.38 a day. So 0.38 of 5,000. This is how much I'm making a day. That's not true. 5,000 times 0.38%. There. Are you kidding me? Equals. Make $19 a day on that pool. 19 times 30. Worst case scenario. Make $570 off of $5,000. That's pretty good. And that's, again, I'm making pigs, guys. If the price of pigs goes up, then they're making a lot more than that per month, just in that one pool alone. But remember, that's on deflationary. This is as worse as it gets, 0.38. So you show me somewhere else where I can do that. And this is like one of the, oh, sorry, this is the, I'm looking at the wrong pool here. I hate this. No, I'm not. That was right. That was right. Sorry, guys. Confusing you. So show me somewhere else where I can make that. All right, let's go. A couple more questions, then I got to run. I was doing employee payroll. I have a e-commerce business where I help our clients sell on Facebook Marketplace. I think I have a link in the description if you want to make passive income. We'll help you sell. You don't have to do anything. We do it all for you. But because I'm all about the passive income game. I love it. I love having multiple avenues just paying me daily so that I can sit on YouTube with you guys and talk stocks and crypto and e-com, fun stuff. Yeah, I don't know if there's a limit to number of stakes, Camco. We'll find out. How many stakes you planning on putting, man? Are you going? I wish we could name our stakes. Like this one's filet mignon. This one's going to be aged for 30 years, 3 years. Yes, on your video that you made that said dogs are 53, I bought large. Good advice. Gotta run. See you in Discord. Thanks for the live stream. That's what it's all about, guys. The Vin man, that's the nicest man right there. Thank you. Any other questions, comments? 166 of you are awfully quiet today. That AMA was, it wasn't really like an AMA, right? Because it was just listening to Forex talk a lot. But you know, he's a dev. He's not trying to be all fancy and entertaining when he talks. So he does his thing. I try to make it entertaining, and I often fail. But that's what we're doing. So join me tomorrow, guys, if you want, and we'll do this again. So eventually I want to airdrop 10 to my friends and some others from family. Yeah, I know. Like, that's crazy. Imagine sending someone a stake and it turning into something. Like if you got grandkids, kids, putting their name on it. Obviously they need a wallet address, but that'll be fun. I'll use your referral in Piggy Bank. Peter, dude, that is nice, man. See, people like that give me hope for the world, because he doesn't need to do that. I don't even know who this Peter guy is. He's a good dude. And he's saying, hey, I'll help you out. Thanks for adding value. So I'll leave my referral. If you all click it, I think what happens is it might store like a cookie, and then tomorrow if you do a deposit, I might get credit, but you don't have to do that. Like, I don't want people to, oh, he's a shiller, he's just in it for himself. Guys, I made $2 in this chat today, okay? So I'm not making anything. I'm here to add value because I'm in this with you. I've invested a lot of money, and I hope we both win. I hope that we look back a year from now and you're like, this is awesome. This is so fun. I'm so glad I found the Drip Farm channel, and we'll meet up in Vegas and we'll party like it's 1999. This is all assuming that World War III doesn't break out. All right, guys, thank you so much. Our minds and hearts are with the people in the Ukraine still. And thank you. Be thankful for your freedom. Love your family. Love your dog. Love your kids. Love your wife. Turn off the charts. We'll see you back here at 11. Join our private Discord. I'll be in there probably sharing more on what I'm doing, and others that are high investors. We got a lot of awesome people in that group. So if you're like, Telegram's too busy, 2,700 people too much. Also, we just launched this as well. If you want to know how to build a team, you know, you saw my drip. I got 744 people on my team, and I did it less than 30 days, and you're like, wow, how did he do it? This is an upcoming AMA. Don't know this guy, but he announced that, so check that out. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I love you guys. Leaving the link one more time. Boom, just click the freaking link. We'll see if it works. I don't know. Might do some giveaways too if you click my link. So you'll be in if you just use the link, because I'll randomize it. So you might actually win something. Who knows? All right, guys, I love you all. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye.